1 p.m. Assalamu alaikum. This is Radio Pakistan. The news read by Daman Zaman. The headlines. The advisor to the Prime Minister on Commerce says the country's exports have increased by 7%. The Central Bulletin Committee will meet in Karachi this evening for the sighting of the Shawwal moon. Thousands of people participated in the funeral prayers of two martyred youths in Kulgam district today. The United Nations Security Council is holding a closed-door meeting today to discuss the crisis in Sudan. And now the news in detail. The advisor to the Prime Minister on Commerce, Abdul Razak Daud, says Pakistan's exports have increased by 7% as production line has gone up despite difficult environment. Talking to Chairman Faisalabad Industrial Estate Development and Management Company, Mia Kashif Ashfaq, in Lahore today, he said the trade gap is narrowing down as exports are showing steadying trajectory while imports have reduced by $4 billion. Razak Daud said overall current account deficit has also improved. He said in terms of quantity, the exports of garments went up by 29%, cement 25%, basmati rice 21%, and footwear 26% in the current fiscal year. He said the situation on the economic front is not as bad as being portrayed by some quarters. The Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Information and Broadcasting, Dr. Firdaus Ashikawan, says Prime Minister Imran Khan has given an Eid gift to 820 families by ensuring the release of the helpless prisoners who were languishing in jails despite completion of their sentence due to non-payment of fines. In a tweet today, she said the release of such prisoners is in line with the Islamic injunctions and also indicates the government's care for the dispossessed segments of the society. The Pakistan Army has rejected the BBC News story titled Uncovering Pakistan's Secret Human Rights Abuses, terming it a pack of lies. In a statement, the Inter-Services Public Relations said the story undermines Pakistan's efforts and unparalleled achievements in the war against terrorism, contributing to regional peace. The Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government has approved the extension of Rescue 1122 services to the whole province, including the newly merged tribal districts. A spokesman of the provincial government told our Peshawar correspondent that the project will be completed at a cost of 4.75 billion rupees in 4 years. The spokesman said 4 rescue centers will be set up in each of the 7 tribal districts in the next 4 years. The meeting of the Central Bulletin Committee will be held at the Pakistan Meteorological Department in Karachi this evening to decide the sighting of the crescent of Shawwalul Mukarram 1440 Hijri. The meeting will be chaired by the Chairman Central Bulletin Committee, Mufti Munibur Rahman. In occupied Kashmir, intense clashes erupted during a coordinated search operation in Tregam village of Kulgam district after groups of youth poured into streets and pelted stones on the forces. The forces fired pellets and tear gas shells on the protesting youth, injuring several of them. The operation, however, was called off as a result of stiff resistance by the local youth. Meanwhile, thousands of people participated in the funeral prayers of the two martyred youths in their native villages in Kulgam district. The youth Firdaus Ahmed Bhatt and Sajjad Ahmed were martyred when the Indian troops opened fire on their vehicle in Mulu Chitragam area of Shupania district yesterday. The United Nations Security Council is holding a closed-door meeting today to discuss the crisis in Sudan. The meeting is being held on the request of Britain and Germany. Meanwhile, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has also criticized Sudan's security personnel for using excessive force on protesters. Sudan's ruling military council has cancelled all agreements with the main opposition coalition and called for elections within 9 months. In a televised address today, Transitional Military Council leader Lieutenant General Abdul Fattah al-Burhan said the opposition coalition was equally responsible for the delay in coming to a final agreement. He also announced that a government would immediately be formed to run the country until elections are held. Earlier, the Sudanese security forces stormed the protest camp, killing at least 35 people. In Lebanon, 4 security personnel, including 2 army soldiers, have been killed in an attack at a security forces patrol in northern city of Tripoli. And finally, cricket. In the 7th match of the ICC Cricket World Cup 2019, Afghanistan will play against Sri Lanka at Cardiff today. The match will start at 1430 hours Pakistan Standard Time. And that is the end of this news bulletin. For more news and analyses, log on to our website, radio.gov.pk, and you can also watch the live video streaming of our bulletins on the link, facebook.com/Radio Pakistan News Official.